Jonesy
and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Well, we've had a raft of big-name mystery footy tippers over the course of the season, from Shannon Knoll to Wally Lewis, from Steve Menzies to Pete Murray. Last week, Millie Elliott got 1 out of 2.
Well, you can't beat.
wasn't too bad.
Steve Menzies, I think, got 8 out of 8. So
Steve
very
Menzies
early in the season, he won.
is a giant champion, but it's only fitting that we wrap up the season with this man.
I'm kind of a big deal.
They kicked off their NRL career in 2000 playing for the Bulldogs. Over his career, he went on to represent the Australian National Rugby League team, earning 24 caps. He's only got one head, and playing 13 games in the State of Origin for New South Wales. In 2002, they were named Dally M Prop of the Year for their exceptional season performance. They went on to win the 2004 Clive Churchill Medal as best player on the field in the grand final. And, of course, 2004 won the grand final with Canterbury Bulldogs. It's Willie Mason.
They're away! It's Willie Mason! Trampled over one, trampled over another. Back to Willie Mason. He'll take the power of stopping. They won't stop him. Willie Mason celebrates. The biggest man in the park scores the go-ahead try.
He's an awesome side in full flight.
What about this?
He really couldn't help himself.
Big Willie is down for the count.
Here he is.
Hello, Willie Mason. How are you?
How you going? That brought a lot of PTSD back here in Rabs' voice.
I can imagine. In a week like this, where you're watching players get ready for a big grand final, do you still feel a frisson in your veins? Does it still touch you somehow?
It does actually, especially when I do interviews like this and you bring all that stuff up. It doesn't. It's pretty you sort of it's in the back of your head a lot until you sort of talk about it and you relive it again. That's when it sort of comes up to the front. But usually I'm okay. But then you watch game day, game week, and like you see a lot of stuff on social media, and you're like, you can really like relate to the players, and you get really nervous because it's probably their most important game. I mean, footy's not everything, but at that time it is when you're playing, and playing in a grand final and winning it is probably the most important thing you can do in your career and the best thing you can do. So when you reflect on it now in a different perspective, it's you look at it different.
I look at your history, and in these days of social media and everything, how do you feel about back in your day? Because you were pretty much everywhere back in those days. It would have been a lot harder these days, I'm sure.
Yeah, you just have to evolve with the times, I suppose. I played through an era where the game just come back together, and we brought it back together in the late 99s and early 2000s. Society was so different back then. It was a lot more fun and a lot more forgiving, and everybody was just having a good time, and rugby league players was just part of the fabric of, like, you could go down the pub and see 10 of us there or anywhere. Now you don't really see all those players, and you guys understand that too because you've lived through it as well. So the players now are under so much scrutiny and everything like that, but that's what happens when it becomes a billion-dollar company. So all these little factors go into everything, but if you're a player in these days, you just need to evolve with the times and understand you can't do anything if you want to do. And I think they hear all these stories of our sort of generation and everything like that and try and emulate it. Like, dude, you can't.
No,
it's just a time and place where we're like, you can't do it because you're going to be in trouble. It's not like we're doing anything criminal, but it's just back then it was allowed. Right now, it's like so frowned upon, man. They're just going to they'll probably get rid of you because it's the image of the game first before anyone.
But you brought a lot of fun to the game. I always love watching you play, and I love seeing you. So you're Channel 7 now. You're Channel 7 News Sydney League Insider, Willie. This is your gig.
Who would have thought that, right?
A Willie Insider.
A Willie Insider.
The NRL Insider for Channel 7. So things come at full circle. So that's a lot of fun, just me being on TV, and they understand what I'm like, and they understand what I bring to the channel, and I'm having a lot of fun just sort of reading off prompters and everything like that. It's a bit weird, I do a podcast, Levels Network podcast. I do a few things where there's cameras there and everything, but it's a bit different in the studio, right? It's like, wow, you're sort of staring at nothing. There's no crowd, there's no nothing.
Be a grown-up. Look, I know Jonesy's team's a Sharks.
You've got to be grown-up media person. Yeah.
Jonesy's a Sharky. I'm a Rooster. We were hoping that our teams would meet in the grand final, but they are in the women's final. Do you have a tip for who you think will win the NRLW, Roosters or the Sharks?
The Roosters, I think, you get that. They're pretty good in the women's league. They're always pretty good. Like, it's been such an exciting comp, the women's.
Yeah.
Like my business partner, Justin Horro, for the podcast, he loves the women's game.
Yeah.
He's obsessed. I think he watches the women's games more than the men's.
It is good.
I just can't watch 20-something games.
No,
I
of
watch
course.
every single men's game. I throw a couple of women's games in there. But you know how many hours that is of watching footy over the weekend? I need to socialise. Jeez.
It's a lot.
I have a family that I need to attend to.
My wife was watching so much footy, she started to watch 100% footy, and then she'd come up with these stats.
Yeah, that's when you know you're doing.
That's when you know
You
you're
know
right
it's
in.
too much.
Okay, the big dance,
you
mate.
gotta-
Penrith versus Melbourne.
Who are you tipping?
If Nelson Asafa-Solomona was playing for Melbourne, I would lean towards Melbourne. But because that big man's out, and he's the only one I reckon that could scare Leota or Fisher-Harris, and it's going to be one in the middle. It's always one in the middle. Now that he's gone, I just think that Penrith will see a weakness in their middles and just attack it. And then they've got Cleary and all these superstars. They've got too many good players. It's pretty unfair when you look at it.
And in the case
So
of
Penrith, only just.
in the case of Nelson, did you feel that he was hard done by for that? I thought they might let him off on that one.
I feel the game didn't give him a chance by giving him a grade 3. You get a grade 3, that's like doing the most malicious thing on the field. He missed his target by a millimetre, right? And it's like there's a lot of nuances in that hit. I thought he should be allowed to play this week because I've seen worse. I think he's hard done by, and I think they don't ruin a good grand final. They just make it a little bit more unfair towards Penrith because he's such a big human, and he's probably the best decoy in the game. People don't understand just because he's not scoring 20 tries a year, he sets up those with his decoys, right?
Yeah.
So you miss that sort of element out of the game, and I think Penrith get them because they're just methodical, mate. They're like Melbourne 2.0. Look what Melbourne was doing from 2006 to 2016, 17. That's that. But just with that golden era of players, Luai, Cleary, Crichton, Kickout, Liam Martin, Yeo, Fisher, Harris. Unbelievable what they've done.
Yeah, they are a dream machine. Just like you, Willie. It's so great to catch
Yeah,
up
it
with
is.
you, mate. And you can catch Willie on Channel 7 as 7 News Sydney League Insider or his podcast Levels. Willie Mason, thank you for being on our show.
Thanks, guys.
Nice
Appreciate
to talk
it.
to you, Willie.
Carry on.